Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to our live stream today. My name is Robert Schoenberger, and I'm the editor-in-chief of IndustryWeek. And I'm just inviting you to talk a little bit today about how we use contributed content on our website and in the magazine, and invite people who might be interested in contributing content to our publications. Like a lot of magazines and media companies, we solicit a lot of information from industry experts and subject matter experts from around the world. We run a lot of material from economists and business owners and just people involved in the manufacturing world. But we have a very rigorous process for doing that, and the person in charge of that is Laura Putre, who's our senior editor in charge of contributed content. Welcome, Laura.
Hi, Robert. Hi, everyone.
And so today I just want to talk a little bit about what we look for in good contributors and some tips we have on how to make the content relevant to our readers and to get your message out in front of as many people as possible. So just to start off, Laura, can you talk a little bit about the sort of contributed content we run and who submits that?
Sure. Well, it's quite a cross section. I would say first would be manufacturing leaders, from plant managers to CEOs and everybody in between. Some up and comers, like somebody who's implemented a cool process or has a compelling idea or approach. We've even had a couple of high school students who are jazzed about manufacturing write for us. Manufacturing consultants, researchers, and thought leaders, lean experts, and heads of manufacturing tech companies who can meaningfully show how technology can improve your business. And they are often with a manufacturing co-author. And just a couple more, like leaders from manufacturing extension partnerships and other manufacturing associations, and also authors of business books. Sometimes they write original content. Sometimes we'll run an excerpt from a new book coming out and, include a link to the book.
Yeah, it's one of the challenges everyone has in the media these days is when you're dealing with contributed content, making sure that it's useful to the readers, that it's really addressing their concerns and where they live. It's very tempting for a lot of people to submit material that's really self-promotional or talking about a product that they have, and we tend to avoid those.
Right. What we're looking for is anything of value to manufacturing leaders. That's our readership. And we are doing editorial. So that's like the news department at an an online website. That's where we have to meet standards for journalistic integrity. So we have a pretty high bar. There's something called sponsored content that's in a different department. That's paid content. It's clearly labeled online as such, and that's generated through our sales and marketing channel. So I wouldn't handle that. I handle the editorial side.
We talked earlier. You have some tips for people, about what to keep in mind when they're writing things. But before we get to those, let's talk a little bit about just the process, the editing process.
Sure.
People, when they have an idea that they want to get something into the publication, they email us. We have contributors at IndustryWeek.com is the email, I believe.
Manufacturing contributors at I will put it in the comments section.
Right. Well, yeah.
Or they can also email me at laura.putre@industryweek.com.
And we also have on our website, IndustryWeek.com, there is a section, if you click on the menu to the left, that'll bring down our contributor guidelines and how to contact us for that. So people will contact you and they'll pitch an idea. And where does it tend to go from there?
Sure. Usually what happens is I suggest you send us a pitch, just a paragraph or two, giving us enough detail that we really get an idea of what the story's about. Then I say yes or no, and usually if I say no, this isn't going to work, I'll give you feedback. And then if the pitch sounds good, we ask you to send the full article. And then, there might be some back and forth. And if and when the article's accepted, then you're in the pipeline. You'll get a contributors agreement, and you will e-sign that. And then the final editing process, after we've done the back and forth on the initial piece and it's been accepted, there's a final editing process, and I send the edits back to people so they can approve them. So we're not cutting something that you felt was important, or changing something that you didn't mean to say.
Yeah, the key here is just, it's a collaborative process. There's a back
Right.
and forth. It's not you just send something and then we run it or don't. We tend to work with people just to make sure that we're hitting our goals and providing good information to our readers, and that you're reaching your goals of getting your message across as clearly as possible.
Right, exactly.
So on that side, let's go over to your tips. You said you had 5 tips on how to think about things. Why don't you just go into those?
Yeah, sure. First would be share something useful. So keep in mind our audience is manufacturing leaders. And just real quick, I'll get you familiar with our subject areas. So technology, you might pitch something on how a technology can help you better run your manufacturing business. So not a sales pitch, but real life examples. Leadership, this is the one category that can be broader than manufacturing. Because good business leadership is good manufacturing leadership. The economy, so that would be maybe a piece on why readers should care about a certain policy or regulation. Talent, that's some approach to improve the culture, recruit or retain people, or get better results from your people. Labor unions, we also cover those. So, anything going on with labor issues. Operations, so that would be anything around lean, continuous improvement, safety, processes, equipment maintenance, and then also supply chain, which is a really hot topic now. So better supplier relationships and what's ahead for supply chain. So that's the first point. The second point is pretty simple. I'm saying keep your intro short, and the reason I say that is because I get a lot of long-winded intros that kind of get in the way of like a good piece, and I end up cutting them. So keep it 1 to 2 paragraphs, ideally. These aren't hard and fast rules. No need to be long-winded to make your case, and if you have a good topic, you can jump right in.
Yeah, along those lines, some of the things as an editor that I usually catch when I see phrases like "as we all know," well, if we all know it, you don't really need to say it. So
Right.
those are the sorts of things that in an
Yeah.
intro can add a lot of words without adding a lot of interesting meaning. So.
Right. Exactly. The third point is just write clearly. Readers are short on time, so you want to, be succinct without being like in a conversational way. You want to keep it jargon free, which means keep your technical terms to a minimum, and any that you do use, explain them. And again, you want a conversational rather than a textbook style. The fourth point is give good examples. So, a lot of times I send back pieces for further work because you're not really like showing how you did something, or what happened, or what problems you encountered and how you dealt with them, or what you would do differently. Give us some real life stories from the C-suite or the plant floor that illustrate your point. One of our writers, Rick Bohan, he's great at storytelling, incorporating storytelling into his pieces. So you might check out his leadership and lean pieces. Number 5 is plainly show off your manufacturing expertise. We want details, how you did it, what the steps were, what were any problems you encountered, and how you tackled them. And like I said, what you did differently next time. So, and if you're like a tech person with a tech company, you want to think, what are manufacturers going to want to know about this and like how to use this technology? So those are my 5 tips. And if people have questions, they can, just ask them in the comments, and I would be happy to answer them.
Yeah, thanks, Laura. These are really good tips. I mean, these are good tips that I would give to editors who are working here with us. It's just a matter of make sure you're being relevant, and it's very tempting when you talk to magazines or websites about, well, we've got a great new thing that we have going on, and sometimes it's interesting, and sometimes it really is groundbreaking and original, and there's room for that there, but our goal is to make sure that that the content we're providing to our readers is interesting and relevant and timely. So if you have something that fits those categories, we're all ears. So anything else you wanted to add, Laura, about kind of the stuff that you enjoy reading?
You know what? I think I'm going to put in the comments some. I'm going to share a few, like on LinkedIn. I'll share a few articles that, like in each of the categories, one for each of the categories that I think really illustrate the points we talked about.
Great.
And I'm happy to answer any other questions that people have. You can email me or just get in touch through LinkedIn.
Well, thanks for your time today. We're going to be trying to do more of these video segments. My goal is to do a couple of these a week. We're hoping to do some live interviews with some newsmakers and things like this in the future. So we're still figuring out this whole video thing and having fun with it right now. But thank you for your time today. Thanks for joining us. And please keep reading Industry Week.
Thanks.